guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you an easy and simple recipe for you to make your own homemade keto biscuits. One of the biggest things that I find with people when you have a discussion about keto or low carb living is the idea that it's not sustainable because we don't eat many carbohydrates. And the fact that we grow up in a society that just eats carbohydrates to the extent where we're oblivious is interesting. So I think it's safe to say that we're carbohydrate addicted in the USA. And the idea of not having them is pretty painful for a lot of people. But in this video, I'm going to show you a simple, easy recipe, which by the way isn't my own. It comes from tastelovely.com, and this recipe has gotten quite a few reviews and they're all pretty excellent. So come on and let's get into the recipe. So for today's recipe, I'm going to be using 2 cups of almond flour, and I always say to sift it. So there's our sifter. Pretty well. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. 1/3 of a cup of avocado oil. This recipe is dairy-free with the exception of the eggs. 1/2 teaspoon of the salt of your choice. But if you wanted it to be kosher, of course, you would use kosher salt. And then we just mix all these ingredients together. So it gives it it's kind of like a dry type of a batter. And that makes total sense because biscuits are traditionally on the dry side on purpose. Like, really? We got our batter. We got our batter. It's almost like lobster batter. We got our batter. I'm from New York City originally, so the Boston accent is really like unexpected. So let's get this mixed well. It looks good. And you're going to want to get a nice tablespoon ready because we're gonna put these on our baking sheet that's lined with parchment paper, and I sprayed a little bit of avocado oil on that, and we're gonna just make 8 scoops. So we have an even 8 servings here. Because a nutrition count, you're going to want to make sure you do it as it's written. So that way, if you're counting your nutrition in for your macronutrients, you'll have an accurate count on that. Alright, so we've got our 8 biscuits shaped. There we have it. We're going to pop this into the oven at 350 degrees preheated for 20 to 25 minutes, and we'll see you back. Okay, you guys, we're ready to take our keto biscuits out of the oven for the great reveal. So let's get right into it. Woohoo! These look incredible. Can you get a look at that? They're golden brown. They're the perfect size of a biscuit, and they smell phenomenal. So you can see that, can't you? They look fantastic. One of the big things that I feel like I miss the most about carbohydrates to kind of sort of validate people when they say that keto and low carb is hard to sustain. Biscuits are delicious, okay? And one of my favorite things of all was to eat bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits. Now with this recipe, I can actually have that. In fact, I'm pretty much dairy free, although once in a while I will have a little small amount of dairy in the form of cheese or milk at certain times. But for the most part, I'm pretty much dairy free. Now with this biscuit, I'm looking forward to having an egg and cheese. And I found the perfect cheese substitute. It's over at Trader Joe's and it's called Almond Mozzarella Style Shreds Cheese Alternative. So after these babies cool down, I'll see you back when I show you what it tastes like with egg and cheese on it. These are the biscuits when they came out of the oven, which they look really good. They're just like a regular biscuit. They're flaky on the inside, they're crumbly and crispy on the outside, and they have a really nice flavor. I encourage you to look at this recipe on the website tastelovely.com. She has lots of really good low carb recipes on that website when you get a chance. And the only thing about this recipe, and it's the same way with most biscuits, is that they're very crumbly. So when you go to cut them open, you got to be very careful. I had to go very, very gently because the first biscuit I wrecked it. But in any event, I'm going to taste test, which I already took a bite out of it. Sorry, but hey, I'm only human. I'm going to taste test this biscuit and let you know what I think of it, and with the egg and cheese on it. Actually, I'm going to take a little piece of the biscuit by itself. Wow. For a low carb biscuit, it's really excellent and very tasty. Now, let me taste the egg and cheese. I've been gluten-free for 15 years, so I haven't had a biscuit in that time period. Hey, McDonald's, watch out, because this is fantastic. Egg and cheese on a keto biscuit. I encourage you to look into keto low carb living if you aren't already in it, because honestly, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to have things that you had before on a regular diet, or the USA pyramid diet, I guess it is. I encourage cooking your own whole foods in your own home, because then you know what's in those foods. It's been a real pleasure as usual. I thank you for stopping by. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video and share it with your friends and family. Thank you again. Over and out. Ciao for now, and I'll see you in the next one.